This is lesson 15. Follow along with the video. I will show you example problems and then I will have you do some on your own. At the end, we will do several word problems together. Today's objective is to multiply a non-unit fraction by a non-unit fraction. So remember, a unit fraction in the numerator. This is a unit fraction. A non-unit fraction means that it is not a unit fraction. It has another number besides 1 in the numerator. Number 1, solve. Draw a rectangular fraction model to explain your thinking. Then write a multiplication sentence. The first one is done for you. So here's the question. Here is the rectangular fraction model. And here is the multiplication sentence. All right, let's do 3/4 of 4/5. So first, we need to draw a rectangular fraction model. So I'm going to draw a rectangle. Then I'm going to split it into fourths because the denominator of our first fraction is fourths. Now, the numerator is 3. So of those fourths, we're going to shade in 3. So here you can see 1/3, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. 3/4 of 4/5. So I'm going to split it into fifths the other way. And how many of those fifths am I going to shade? 4/5. So I have 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5. Now 4 of those fifths are shaded in. Now we're looking at the crisscross. Where are the lines going this way and this way? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So our numerator will be 12. And our denominator will be, how many is there total? 1, 2, 3, 4 times 5 rows is 20. Now can I reduce that? Yes, I can. What is the greatest common factor of 12 and 20? Well, they can both be divided by 4. So 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. 3/5. Now we need to do our multiplication sentence. So we're going to do 3/4, and of means times 4/5. And then we just multiply across. 3 times 4 is 12, and 4 times 5 is 20. And of course, we know we can divide both of those by 4. So 20 divided by 4 is 5, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3/4. I got the same answer on both of them. So it is correct. Now let's do C. 2/5 of 2/3. So draw your fraction box. All right, our first number is 2/5. So I'm going to be splitting it into fifths. And I'm going to shade in 2 of those fifths. Now the second number is 2/3. So I'm going to be splitting it into thirds, going the other direction. And then the numerator in that one is 2/3. So I'm going to shade in 2 of the thirds. 1, 2. So now we're looking at how many boxes have both red and blue in them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. And then how many boxes are there total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So our denominator is 15. Can that be reduced or simplified? No, it cannot. So we're just going to keep it 4/15. Now let's do the multiplication sentence. So we have 2/5 of means multiply 2/3. 2/3. We can just multiply across. 2 times 2 is 4. 5 times 3 is 15. There we got our same answer. I want you to do these two problems by yourself. You need to draw your rectangular fraction model and do your multiplication sentence. I also want you to do these 4 by yourself. Turn these in and I will grade them tonight. Philip's family traveled 3/10 of the distance to his grandmother's house on Saturday. They traveled 4/7 of the remaining distance on Sunday. What fraction of the total distance to his grandmother's house was traveled on Sunday? Now, when I think about this word problem, I think about what they're doing. What are they doing? They're traveling, probably in a car. So I'm going to think about it like a road. Philip's family started here. And then they traveled 3/10 of the distance. 3/10. And what day was this? On Saturday. So I'm going to circle 3/10 on Saturday. And then they traveled of the rest of the way. Here's Grandma's house over here. Okay, they traveled 4/7 of the remaining distance on Sunday. I don't know how much 4/7 is, a little bit more than half. So we have 4/7 Sunday. 4/7 of this part on Sunday. And then the question is asking what fraction of the total distance of the whole thing to his grandmother's house was traveled on Sunday. So this part, so we don't know about this part. This part was how much they traveled on Sunday. We need to know how much the whole thing was. So as we think about this, I'm thinking, how about a tape diagram? Okay, this being the start and this being Grandma's house. We know that at first it said that they traveled 3/10. So when we have the whole, we need to split it into tenths. We do that by splitting it in half. And then we need fifths on each side. So on one side, we're going to take out a little chunk in the middle and then split it into fifths. On the other side, we're going to take out a chunk in the middle and split it into fifths. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so we know that on Sunday, they went 3 of those tenths. 1, 2, 3. There's Saturday. Now we're looking at Sunday. So on Sunday, they went 4/7 of the remaining distance. Everybody underline remaining distance. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they have 7 parts left, and they're going to go 4 of those parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. So the red is Sunday. Now, what fraction of the total distance to his grandmother's house was traveled on Sunday? So we're just looking at this part. How many are shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them were shaded out of how many total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 total. 4/10. Can that be reduced? Absolutely. We can reduce it by dividing by 2 in the numerator and the denominator. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. 2/5. Now, you need to write a sentence answering this question. Please write it right here. Okay, pause the video if you need to. We're going to move on to number 4. Read it with me. Santino bought a 3/4 pound bag of chocolate chips. He used 2/3 of the bag while baking. How many pounds of chocolate chips did he use while baking? Let's read it sentence by sentence. Santino bought a 3/4 pound bag of chocolate chips. So first, let's draw our tape diagram. And we're going to split it into 3/4 because he had a 3/4 pound bag. And how many parts are we shading? 3, because 3 is the numerator. That's how much he had. So I'm going to put started with. Okay, then he used 2/3 of the bag while baking. Okay, so he has 3/4 here. He used 2/3. So of this part right here, he used 2/3. Well, good thing it's already in 3 parts. So he used this one and this one. How many pounds of chocolate chips did he use while baking? So he used this much. He used. The whole is what? The whole was 1 pound bag. Correct? The whole was 1 pound. And he used this much of it. What would we call that? We would call it half. So how much did he use while baking? He used half of the bag. Write your sentence here. Now, you could check your answer. You could think, oh, he has 3/4 of a pound, and he used 2/3. So he used 2/3 of the 3/4. So we can multiply that. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. Can we reduce that? Yes, we can divide them both by 6, which equals 1/2. And we get the same answer. Okay, number 5. Farmer Dave harvested his corn. He stored 5/9 of his corn in one large silo and 3/4 of the remaining corn in a small silo. The rest was taken to market to be sold. What fraction of the corn was stored in the small silo? So, you probably don't know what the word silo means. That's okay. You know that it is a place where you store corn. Okay, it's a big building. Usually they're white or gray, and they put grain inside of it. So, let's circle the important information. He stored 5/9 of his corn in the large silo, and he stored 3/4 of the remaining corn. Remaining means leftover, in the small silo. The rest was taken to be sold at market, so we're not really doing anything with this part. Let's read the question. What fraction of the corn was stored in the small silo? Okay, let's make a tape diagram. We started with 5/9 of his corn was in the large silo. What are we going to draw? A tape diagram. Who knows what the hole is? The hole is the corn harvested. Okay, we need to split it into 9ths. This is going to be small. Okay, a little bit there, split these in half, and then you have 4, and then split it into 4 on the other side. That should be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boom. All right, he stored 5/9. We're going to shade in 5/9. There's 5. Then, that's in the large silo. Large silo. Large. Then he's put 3/4 of the remaining corn, so this part, we need 3/4. Lucky for us, it's already in 4ths. Don't you love these problems? So we're going to shade in 3 of the 4ths. This is in the small silo. Okay, the rest was taken to the market to be sold. So we can color in the last one. This one was sold at market. Okay. The question says, what fraction of the corn was stored in the small silo? How many were in the small silo? 3. 3 what? 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3/9. Can we reduce that? Of course we can. We can divide both 3 and 9 by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 1/3. Write your answer for what fraction of the corn was stored in the small silo. Write it here. All right, let's do part B. If he harvested 18 tons of corn, how many tons did he take to the market? So we're saying now that the corn that he harvested is 18 tons. The whole thing is 18 tons. So we need to look at it and say, there's 9 parts here. If I split 18 into 9 parts, it would be 2, 2. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Because we took 18 and divided it by 9 parts.